A work-life balance is such an important part of the workforce in America. A work-life balance is the ability to prioritize and maintain personal and work responsibilities in order to feel content in both the important areas of our lives. However, with a 40-hour work week, maybe some overtime, it can be really frustrating trying to do everything. Let's break it down a little bit more. There's 168 hours in a week, 40 of those are work, 56 of those hours are dedicated to sleep, which leaves us with 72 hours left in the week. And depending on the circumstances, family takes up time, other hobbies, and other priorities take up tons of time, so it can be hard to achieve the balance we all need. Before I start, something I want to comment is that everyone should have a work-life balance, and especially students. Being a junior at USF this year, it feels like I do nothing but homework, but I have to remind myself that in order to prevent being burnt out or procrastinating, we have to take time for ourselves. After doing work, taking breaks, eating nutritious foods, and exercising on a daily basis is so important. It'll help us with our studying and learning in the long run, and could even train us to create a work-life balance for the future. There are many reasons why the average American has so many issues in this category. I'm going to introduce the topics that my group is talking about more in depth. To begin, the first thing that will be discussed is by Danielle Roselle, and that there are many causes of the work-life imbalance that we all seem to struggle with. A few examples of this can start in the workplace. For example, if the workplace from the start is ineffective, the likelihood of being able to have a balance is slim to none. Financial pressures and feeling the need of constantly doing work in order to make money is another thing people struggle with. We'll also talk about a few other causes that are apparent in many lives. The impacts of imbalance are also an issue for many people, and this will be talked about by Olivia Schmidt, as this could cause physical and mental health issues and disassociation in the things people are involved with. The impacts can be detrimental to the average employee because it all starts with the body and our health. If we aren't feeling 100% and taking care of ourselves, the work won't get done, let alone the rest of the tasks we already have to deal with. Olivia Rojo will be talking about the many benefits of achieving this balance, like maintaining friendships and relationships, reducing stress, and overall physical health. Like I said before, our bodies need to be in good shape before we can even do anything during the day. There are also many effective strategies for achieving this balance that will be discussed by Rachel Robideau, like creating boundaries for yourself, even though this can be difficult depending on the job. Time management is also something that coincides with this, and it's not only important for an efficient work-life balance, but everything else in life. Another thing that people tend to do is overcommit, which will also be described in depth. Something that could be taken into account is the employer-employee relationship discussed by Asheria Hamilton. If the employer makes it difficult for people to set up boundaries with the work life and the personal life, the balance will not be attainable. However, employers in 2024 understand that there needs to be a divide between the work being done in the office chair and the personal time needs to be taken in order to be productive. A few things she'll be highlighting are the remote work and hybrid options that have been implemented ever since COVID-19, the employee assistance programs, and even incentivizing the office with paid time off to help with the work-life balance. I believe that this topic is very important because if you work for someone who cares about their employees and understands that everyone has things on their plate, the work-life balance should be easier to achieve and maintain. Finally, Justin Scott, another member of our group, will be recapping and concluding the project. I hope that you learned something about the issues between a work-life balance through this presentation and try to figure out how to create the balance in your life. Thank you so much and enjoy the presentation.
So I just want to take a few seconds to first explain what exactly is a work-life imbalance. So a work-life imbalance refers to the inability for a professional or individual to stabilize their activities so that they can achieve both their personal and their career goals simultaneously. And so going into a few causes of imbalance. One is not setting clear boundaries. And what this means is really being able to have the ability to learn to say no. If you're being presented with a project or to help out on some work that maybe your colleague is working on and it's presented to you in a way that is voluntary, while it may make you look like a superstar if you say yes, it can also impact you, right? If you don't have that capacity to actually take it on. So we've always been told, say yes, 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 that opens opportunities and things like that. But it's really important to actually assess whether or not you should say yes. Another cause is an ineffective work structure and environment. So this is referring to the fact that there could be no clear distinction between your work and your home. And the primary example I give is COVID, because COVID really changed a lot for everyone. We were no longer going into an office 5 days a week. We were working remotely. And now that has actually transitioned into what we know as hybrid. So what that means is now you'll have an office at your home. Some may have an office at home and at work. But the issue is when you're working at home, you don't have that physical break of being able to get up from your desk and actually clock out and go home. At this point, it's just a matter of the time coming down to it. When it comes 5 o'clock, are you going to log off, or are you like, well, I'm already here, there's a few more things I want to do, and you just keep chipping away at it. And eventually that just becomes habitual. Another particular cause of imbalance is financial pressures. So financial pressures, really, as it sounds, is anything that is pressuring you from a financial standpoint. This could be from overdue bills, day-to-day expenses, maybe unexpected emergencies that have come up. It could even be the fact that you're saving up for something. Let's say you want to take a trip 6 months from now, and you decide, well, I actually want to do it in 3 months, so I'm going to work overtime for the next 2 to 3 months. This can put that type of pressure on you, and it can also impact your ability to have any type of break from work. If you're working 12-hour shifts, you really don't have time to do anything else besides sleep and eat and then wake up and do it again. And that's where we have an imbalance between work and life. Another cause of imbalance is the expectations to excel. So while we all want to do well, we all want to achieve and, go for our goals, there can be a moment where you're overachieving. And this could be simply from pressures put onto you by your parents. It could be from your employer, maybe you and yourself. Maybe this is something that you've drilled into yourself. And the problem with this is that that's all you think about at that point. Day in and day out, you're thinking about how you can move forward. How can you get ahead? There's no turning your brain off to think about anything else. There's no relaxation. There's no taking time for yourself. It's always about how can I get ahead? And this can also apply into your personal life. If you're always thinking about how can you be the best, wife or girlfriend there is. So you're going above and beyond all the time. And this could be, cooking breakfast, cooking lunch, cooking dinner, just so you can say that you've made a homemade meal 3 times a day, and then cleaning the house from top to bottom every day. Say that, you have always kept a clean house, and that's what you do. And, going above and beyond to anticipate their every need. Anything like that that's just excessive, it's going to cause an imbalance because you're not having that moment where you can clearly have a fine line between you, work, and how can you give both an even and equal amount of yourself. Lastly, you have overutilization. So this is when, at work in particular, you're given work that's really not achievable in the time frame or the boundaries in which they're providing you. And what that means is they're giving you a day's work, and you get to the end of the day and there's still a ton of more work left. And you know that you've been working efficiently. You know that you've been doing everything that you were taught to do. But it's really not you. It's the fact that they have given unhealthy and unreal expectations onto you. Maybe they don't have the tools that you need to actually work efficiently. Or maybe you're doing the workload that's actually made for 2 people. And this is something that is common in many work industries. So it is something that has been impacting a lot of people. And they have to really realize that it's not them. You can't just work faster. It's not the problem. The problem is that they've set this unhealthy expectation.
I'm Olivia, and I'm going to be discussing the negative impacts of a work-life imbalance. In a study conducted by Grand Canyon University, the thing that suffers the most due to poor work-life balance is family relationships, followed by friendships, self-care, mental and emotional health,
And lastly, physical health. According to Cambridge University, a 5-year study found that the risk of developing depression in healthy individuals is 1.66 times higher in employees who work more than 55 hours a week. Poor work-life balance can also lead to anxiety, weakened immune systems, an increased risk of heart attack or heart disease. And these physical consequences are often compounded by the mental and emotional toll of constantly prioritizing work over personal well-being. But the effects are not just physical. Many people find that a work-life imbalance has cost them their relationships with their family and their friends. When one devotes one's entire life to their work, other areas of their life tend to suffer. This can look like skipping family events and holidays to go into the office, or something as simple as prioritizing sending emails while spending time with a partner and children. Over time, these behaviors can strain relationships and lead to feelings of isolation. This detachment from loved ones often fosters a sense of guilt and regret, which only compounds the stress an individual is already facing. Either way, overworking can become a harmful habit for everyone involved, leading to a vicious cycle of neglect and dissatisfaction. In some cases, people begin to find that their sense of identity solely depends on their work, losing sight of who they are outside of the office. This can make it harder for them to take time off or disengage from work, which further exacerbates the imbalance. A person's sense of purpose can become entangled with their job, even though the very act of overworking may be distracting from their overall happiness. From a working and workplace perspective, a work-life imbalance is detrimental to both the employee and the company. For an employee, it can cause all of the issues stated above, and for the company, this results in lower productivity. Lower productivity results in burnout, a decline in work quality, and reduced employee morale. When employees feel overwhelmed or undervalued, they're more likely to burn out, which can lead to absences, resignation, and ultimately termination. This turnover creates an additional strain on the remaining team members as well as the company. And companies that fail to address the importance of personal well-being may struggle to maintain a happy and productive workplace. In conclusion, achieving a healthy work-life balance is crucial for both the personal well-being and organizational success. It's important to encourage individuals to recognize the signs of imbalance and take proactive steps to protect their mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Employers also play a key role by fostering a supportive work environment, encouraging breaks, and respecting employees' personal time. By promoting balance, both individuals and companies can thrive, maintaining strong relationships, high productivity, and a positive workplace culture. Prioritizing well-being should never be overlooked, and it is essential to long-term success for both the individual and the organization. Supporting work-life balance not only enhances the lives of employees, but also creates a more sustainable and effective workplace, benefiting everyone in the long run.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia Rojo, and in continuing this conversation about work-life balance, I want to address some of the benefits that come with prioritizing a healthy balance, as it plays a huge role in our mental and physical health, job satisfaction, and even our relationships. So let's take a closer look at some of these key areas. First and foremost, maintaining a work-life balance is critical for our mental health. Work, when it's overwhelming or never ending, can contribute to stress, anxiety, and even depression. However, by setting boundaries and ensuring that we take time to unwind and engage in activities we enjoy outside of work, we give ourselves a space to recharge. Whether it's spending time with family, engaging in hobbies, or just relaxing, this time allows us to clear our minds, reduce mental strain, and improve our overall emotional well-being. When you feel emotionally grounded, you're able to deal with stressors at work and in your personal life, which can reduce feelings of anxiety and depression. Additionally, when we constantly overwork, it becomes difficult to concentrate and think clearly. Over time, this leads to decision fatigue, reduced creativity, and decreased cognitive function. By prioritizing personal time and rest, you ensure that your mind is sharp and focused and better able to perform when you need it to. Another key benefit of a healthy work-life balance is reduced stress. When we're constantly working or thinking about work, stress levels rise, which can lead to both physical and emotional exhaustion. There's a direct correlation between levels of stress and increased working hours that every employer should be aware of. By balancing our time between work and personal life, we allow ourselves to step away and recharge, which reduces stress and the potential for burnouts, which, if prolonged, could result in chronic stress and fatigue. Time away from work allows our brains to recover and helps us approach challenges with a clear mind and greater resilience. This, in turn, makes us more effective problem solvers when we return to our tasks, maintaining the energy and focus needed to perform at our best without the cloud of stress hanging over us. We all know that stress and lack of sleep can take a toll on our physical health. When work and life become imbalanced, this leads to sleeping problems, poor eating habits, increased risk of heart disease, and overall weakened immune system. By ensuring we make time for ourselves outside of work, we can engage in physical activities like exercise and make time for healthy meals, all of which improve our physical health. Having a healthier balance ensures that you can turn off your brain from work in the evenings and create a better routine prioritizing rest. When you get enough sleep, your brain can process emotions better, see improvement in memory, and regulate stress more effectively, leading to a more positive mood and better mental clarity. A balanced lifestyle reduces the likelihood of stress-induced behaviors like overeating or substance use and encourages healthy habits that lead to fewer health problems in the long run. Next, let's talk about relationships. Whether it's our partners, friends, or family, maintaining a work-life balance strengthens our personal connections. When work doesn't consume all of our time, we can be more present for the people who matter most, leading to stronger and more fulfilling relationships. Having the energy to engage in meaningful conversations, spend quality time together, and create lasting memories can provide emotional support and reduce feelings of isolation. Positive social connections have been shown to reduce stress, increase feelings of happiness, and even improve cognitive function. All of this goes to prove how giving yourself time for social interaction outside of work can provide a greater sense of fulfillment, both in home and in our social lives. Building from this, it may seem counterintuitive, but maintaining a work-life balance actually boosts productivity. When we give ourselves time to rest and recharge, we return to work feeling more focused, energized, and motivated to perform. Taking breaks while at work can also result in better concentration and fewer mistakes, which ultimately leads to greater efficiency. Working without breaks, however, can cause mental fatigue, which affects our problem-solving skills and ultimately slows us down. By balancing time between work and personal life, we remain fresh and productive during our working hours, making us more effective in less time. A healthy work-life balance also translates to higher job satisfaction. When employees feel they have time for themselves and their families, they tend to feel more valued and supported by their employers. As an employee sees their personal needs are held with the same respect as their professional responsibilities, this will enhance their feelings of self-worth, leading to a new sense of confidence that carries over into work performance. Having the flexibility to manage work and personal commitment lends to be a more positive attitude toward work and a deeper sense of loyalty to the organization. Finally, companies that promote work balance benefit from better staff retention. High turnover can be costly for any organization, not just financially, but also in terms of lost knowledge and expertise. Employees who feel their personal well-being is prioritized are less likely to leave jobs for new opportunities. By fostering an environment where employees can balance both their work and personal lives, companies create a loyal, engaged, and long-term workforce, benefiting both employees as individuals and the company as a whole. All the benefits discussed aim to show that the importance of a healthy work-life balance extends far beyond just feeling less overwhelmed. This balance is necessary to achieve a more fulfilling and successful life overall.
So there are clearly many benefits as to why work-life balance is very beneficial and very important to have, but what you might be wondering is how exactly you can achieve that, or at least put in the effort to try to achieve it. So I will be going through effective strategies for achieving balance in your work life and home life. So for starters, the first way of achieving this, I would say, is creating boundaries. So set certain boundaries for yourself when you take a job, so that your job doesn't start to intrude on your personal life. So having these boundaries set will help you, because then you'll be able to start noticing when your work life starts to cross into your personal life, as opposed to not having those boundaries set and not realizing till it's too late that your work life has taken over your personal life. Second would be effective time management. So obviously managing your time is very beneficial, because then you'll get your work done and it won't have to intrude on your home life, and you'll keep that balance because you will have been efficiently managing your time. Next would be schedule flexibility. So if you create a flexible work schedule, it makes availability to home life obligations easier. So if you have that schedule set and you can work around it, and that way you can meet your obligations in your personal life and also not miss anything you need to for work as well. So next would be allocating time to other hobbies and relationships. So it's really important to have that balance of still enjoying things you do outside of the workplace, and to kind of keep your morale higher. So setting time aside to do the things you love outside of work is very important in kind of resetting your brain and also enjoying your time outside of work, not stressing about work when you're not there, and keeping that sort of balance. And also setting aside time for other relationships, making sure you're still keeping healthy relationships with people outside of work that are important in your life, and setting aside time for them as well. So next would be setting manageable goals. So by creating goals that are in reach each day, like small goals each day at work to get done, will keep you from trying to do too much at once and throwing off that balance and getting too stressed. So by setting goals that you can reach each day, you know that when you get those done and they're manageable, you don't have to stress about anything outside of work. So next would be take small breaks. So by taking small breaks throughout your day at work, it'll keep you from getting too overwhelmed and stressed, and it will help clear your mind so that when you go back to work, you're more productive and more efficient. And that way you can get all your stuff done and enjoy the rest of your time. So next would be avoid overcommitting. So don't commit to things that are not manageable within your day, week, month, to avoid an overly busy schedule, because that'll throw off that balance and you'll be overwhelmed, and then you might have to take more time for work than you wanted to. Next would be put your mental health first. So not having a good balance can cause you to be mentally overwhelmed and struggle. So make sure you're putting that first and making sure that you're in a good headspace. And then unplug when not at work. So when you're not at the workplace, make sure you're enjoying your time, relaxing, taking a break. Maybe take a break from looking at a screen. If you've been looking at a screen all day, take some time to be outside, kind of really enjoy and unplug when you're not at the workplace. And lastly would be avoid feeling obligated to do work when you are not there. So when you're not on the clock, you're not at work, as long as your job doesn't require it, don't feel like you have to be answering emails, doing stuff when you aren't actually obligated to. So this will prevent you from, all these things will prevent you from burning out. It's really important to keep that balance, that you don't get too overwhelmed with work and it doesn't start to make you less productive. And then on this next slide here, I just put kind of like the stepping ladders of the different ways that you can achieve it. So it says set clear boundaries, prioritize self-care, learn to say no, utilize technology, and set realistic expectations. So those are just some of the things I went over, and I would say some of the more important ones of how to achieve this work-life balance.
Balancing work and life responsibilities. As the demands of work continue to grow, it's crucial that employees take an active role in supporting their staff's well-being. By doing so, they not only improve employee satisfaction, but also boost productivity and retention. Let's explore how employers can help balance these important aspects of life. One of the most effective ways employers can support work life balance is by offering flexible work hours. This means employees have the ability to adjust their start and end times to fit personal commitments, whether that's for childcare, medical appointments, or simply managing their daily routines. This flexibility enables employees to maintain a sense of control over their time and reduces stress. For example, some companies offer flex time or the option to work a compressed work week, where employees work longer hours on fewer days to have an extra time off during the week. This flexibility empowers employees to manage their personal and professional lives more effectively. Another significant way employers can help employees balance work and life is through remote work options. The pandemic proved that many jobs can be done just as effectively from home, and now many companies are embracing hybrid and fully remote work models. This gives employees the freedom to work from a place that's most comfortable for them, whether that's at home, a cafe, or another location. By eliminating long commutes and offering a more flexible work environment, employers can support their employees' personal lives while maintaining high productivity. Taking time off to recharge is vital for mental and physical well being, and this is where paid time off becomes important. Employers that offer generous vacation days and encourage employees to take time off help reduce burnout and improve overall job satisfaction. Additionally, some companies are now offering mental health days as part of their benefits package. Specific days set aside to focus on mental well being without the pressures of work. Encouraging employees to disconnect and rest is one of the most important contributions an employer can make toward work life balance. Employers can also provide valuable support through employee assistance programs. These programs offer a range of services like counseling, financial planning, and legal assistance. Employees deal with personal issues, whether emotional, financial, or otherwise, can seek help in a confidential and supportive environment. Providing EAPs help employers navigate personal challenges without the added stress of balancing these issues with their work responsibilities. For employees with families, offering support for family responsibilities is key. This can include paid parental leave, child care assistance, or flexible work arrangements for parents or caregivers. For example, some employers offer on site daycare or provide subsidies for children costs. These initiatives make it easier for parents to balance the demands of raising a family while maintaining a fulfilling career. It's not just about having time off, it's about providing the resources employees need to balance those roles. One of the most overlooked aspects of work life balance is the importance of clear boundaries between work and personal time. Employers should encourage employees to disconnect when they're off the clock. This means limiting work emails and phone calls after hours or during weekends. When employees have clear boundaries, they can truly rest and recharge, which in return leads to higher engagement and focus when they are working. Setting these expectations helps prevent burnout and creates a healthier work culture. Lastly, a company's culture plays a crucial role in how employees manage work life balance. Employers should foster a culture where well being is prioritized and employees feel supported in balancing their professional and personal lives. This can be achieved by regularly offering wellness initiatives, team building activities, and having leaders who model healthy work life balance behaviors. When employees see that their managers and leaders respect personal time, they are more likely to follow suit and maintain their own balance. In conclusion, employers have a significant role to play in helping their employees manage work life balance, whether through flexible hours, remote work, paid time off, or supporter culture. These initiatives not only improve the well being of employees, but also contribute to a greater productivity and job satisfaction. By investing in work life balance, employers create a more engaged, loyal, productive workforce. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this encourages you to think about how your organization can better support its employees.
As we wrap up this presentation, I want to leave you with some key takeaways about the importance of work-life balance. First, let's revisit the challenges of achieving work-life balance. Many of us face unclear boundaries, high expectations, financial pressures, and environments that encourage overthinking. These are common obstacles, but they aren't insurmountable. The key is understanding the root causes and actively working towards solutions. Now, why does this matter so much? Because the impacts of imbalance are significant. We've all seen or experienced the consequences: burnout, declining mental and physical health, strained relationships, and reduced productivity. But there is good news. Achieving balance is possible, and the benefits are worth the effort. Improved mental health, reduced stress, better physical health, and happier relationships are just the start. For organizations, the benefits include increased productivity, higher job satisfaction, and better staff retention. In other words, balance creates a win-win situation. So how do we make this happen? It starts with adopting effective strategies, whether it's creating clear boundaries, managing time efficiency, or taking small breaks. Each step we take helps us move closer to balance. It's also important to unplug from work when we're off the clock and to avoid overcommitting ourselves. These are practical steps that anyone can implement. Employers also play a crucial role in supporting work-life balance by offering flexible work hours, remote options, and employee assistance programs. Organizations can help their employees thrive. This isn't just about being a good employer. It's about creating a workforce that is resilient, engaged, and capable of long-term success. In closing, I want to emphasize this. Work-life balance isn't just a personal responsibility. It's a shared effort. As individuals, we must prioritize our well-being and make intentional choices. As employers, leaders, and members of the society, we must create environments that support balance and well-being. By working together, we can overcome the challenges, embrace the benefits, and build a future where balance is not the exception, but